Hi friends, I have a really fun video today, one that I've really been looking forward to making, and let's get started with where it all began. And this is a photograph of myself on the right pushing my little sister in her stroller in the very early 80s at Disney World. And so my love of Disney started really early when we would go to visit my grandparents who lived in Winter Park, Florida. And we would visit Disney World on those trips. So I have been a huge fan of Disney my entire life. And today I wanted to share my love of vintage Disney. These are things that I've collected over time. That some have special meaning to me, some I just think are beautiful, and I really love the Disney of today, but also the Disney of yesterday. So hopefully this video will show you some of the magic that has been there since the very beginning. And what better place to start than with Tinkerbell? And this is an authentic, unused Tinkerbell postcard. So let me show you what the back looks like. And here's the back of the postcard. It says Disneyland, Fantasyland, and it says, Tinkerbell sprinkles magic stardust over the wonderful world of fantasy called Disneyland to make it truly the happiest place on earth. And I want to try to get up close so you can really see how beautiful this is. The colors are amazing. I'm not sure how well it comes across, but it almost feels three-dimensional. The colors are so vibrant. And I feel lucky to have a piece of Disneyland history. Next, I have a tiny vintage Disneyland plate. This was meant to be displayed up on the wall because it has a little wall hanger on the back, and it is absolutely darling. It's only about 4 inches across, so it really is tiny, but it is beautiful and has a lot of detail in such a tiny little plate. And next up is a tiny Tinkerbell bell, and it says Walt Disney Productions on it, and it is very old. And I looked through, when I was trying to track one of these down, it took me a while to find one that was in this good condition because some of them have been through the ringer over the years, but this one is in very beautiful condition. And the little gem on the star is still there, her little pixie dust gem, her beautiful wings, and even the paint on the enamel on the metal is in really nice shape, and it has a very nice ring. So she is one of my favorite Disney treasures. I sometimes jokingly say that if I had a time machine, one of the things I would love to do would be to go back and visit the early days of Disneyland, when Walt Disney and his wife actually had an antique shop on Main Street. And Walt's wife actually helped stock the antique shop with pieces that she would purchase on their travels around the globe. And so this is this is an antique salt and pepper shaker from early Disneyland days, and I can show you up close It actually reminded me of Mrs. Banks from Mary Poppins, which is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. And he actually reminds me of Constable Jones from Mary Poppins, the friendly Scotland Yard officer who helps the Banks' children return home after their kite-flying misadventures. So let me show you what the details look like on this. It says, Disneyland and Japan. So a lot of these early pieces were imported from Japan, and I'm thrilled to have these. I think they're just beautiful, and the fact that they seem to tie into Mary Poppins makes me love them even more. Speaking of Mary Poppins, she is actually the subject of my next vintage item, which is Walt Disney Mary Poppins paper doll book. And oh my goodness, this is so cute. And her outfit, her little mesh gloves, her beautiful bonnet, and her parasol. Absolutely love it. So let me show you what the dolls look like inside. There were several versions of Mary Poppins paper dolls, but this set is my favorite because it ties very closely to the movie, which, as someone who loves the film, I appreciate. So that obviously the outfits haven't been cut out yet, but they are so beautiful, and I love that they come with accessories. Love that. And I love that the hat box actually reminds me of the one Lady comes out of in Lady and the Tramp. And I feel like the wardrobe in Mary Poppins is such a big part of the film, and one of the reasons I love it so much. Mrs. Banks is actually one of my favorite characters, and during the Dopey Challenge, I'm actually going to wear a Mrs. Banks costume for one of the races. Okay, here's her night clothes. And the last page of clothes. Just a beautiful book. And let me show you the doll herself. And here she is. This is the paper doll that all those other outfits can be cut out and placed onto this paper doll. Beautiful set. I love it. Next up is a vintage Disney Jamar puzzle that is especially close to my heart. I actually teared up when it arrived in the mail. When we would visit my grandparents in Florida, and they're both no longer with us, unfortunately, but they would get out this puzzle for myself and my older brother to put together, and it just brings back wonderful memories and how special they always made me feel. And that same feeling that's the magic of Disney. It doesn't go away even when you have children of your own. Among the vintage Disney items that I have and absolutely love are Disney albums, old records, and this is actually the newest addition to my collection. It's a 1968 Walt Disney's Merriest Songs album, and let me turn it over so you can see. And here's the back. Great stars sing Disney's Merriest Songs, and it's an incredible selection of songs. just, I mean, it's kind of a who's who of Disney movie stars, and so many of these movies are very special to me. I really love the artwork on this album cover as well. So many great characters. And the rest of my Disney album collection I've had since I was little, and so I thought I'd just quickly go through these and show you some of what I have. Sleeping Beauty, my all-time favorite Disney movie. Close second is Princess and the Frog, but I absolutely love this album. I listened to it until it pretty much fell apart. As you can see, this is the storybook inside the record, and I read it so many times that the cover fell off, so very special to me. And these were in the early 80s. We had these picture records, and I thought this was a really darling one. Again, we listened to these so many times that they're in kind of rough shape, but they're very special to me. And there's also artwork on the back, which is, I love the artwork on these. Okay. And they were called Disney picture discs. And I really love them and love the artwork. This one's in especially rough shape. It looks like some doodling was done on it, but another precious album. And oh my gosh, I love this one so much. This is the story of the Frog Prince. And if you have never listened to these Jim Henson albums, do yourself a favor and get them and listen to them. They are really amazing. This Oliver and Company one, it came with a cassette, but the cassette no longer exists. At least I don't have it anymore. So, and there's a storybook inside as well. And here is Small World, another Disneyland album with the Disneyland Boys Choir. And here's Dumbo. Beautiful, beautiful cover art. And last but not least, Lady and the Tramp. Another one of my favorites. And I highly recommend these Disney albums to anyone who enjoys Disney. You can often get them. In very good shape for a few dollars. The newest one I got for $9, and it's in extremely good shape. So I highly recommend this if you enjoy Disney music and have a record player. I also have 2 vintage Disney mugs that I wanted to share with you. This one is a classic, Winnie the Pooh and Friends at Christmas time. So darling, 1997, so not quite vintage compared to some of these other items, but old enough for me to include it in here, and really just a precious keepsake. And I love getting souvenir mugs on the trips because each one I can remember where we were, what year it was, who was with us, and the happy memories that went along with the trip. And here is an old Beauty and the Beast mug. I love the roses, so cute. My next vintage item is actually a framed poster that I got from an antiques dealer in London. And it's from the movie The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And I absolutely love the artwork. It's not especially old. I actually have a much older framed Winnie the Pooh poster, but it is a darling one. And this is my favorite piece of vintage Disney art. It is a 1974 Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 movie poster, the bounciest, and I absolutely love it. And this one, I just brought it down to show you, but it usually hangs in my daughter's bedroom, so I'm glad that she enjoys it as much as I do. I just absolutely love the colors. And these two troublemakers. I also wanted to share another favorite item in my vintage Disney collection, which is this Polly Pocket Disney Castle. I think the company that made it is called Bluebird, but it is so beautiful and I love the details on it. And the tower originally lit up. I don't believe it does anymore, but I may make an attempt to fix it and see if I can get it glowing. And it's so beautiful. And my very last item is this very old, adorable Dopey figurine from Disneyland, and it says Japan on the bottom, and he is just precious. Very delicate, hand-painted, and I love him. And I keep him on my desk to keep me excited for the January Dopey Challenge. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing my vintage Disney collection, and I'd love to hear if you also collect vintage Disney, and if you had any favorite items, I'd love to hear that too. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, friends.